Since 1958, California State University Northridge has been elevating Los Angeles and beyond. The university's commitment to student success, inclusive excellence, and service to the community has made it a national model for institutions of higher learning. As of 2020, more than 370,000 alumni serve as the economic spark for Southern California and beyond. CSUN graduates more than 11,000 students annually who go on to lead industries as varied as tech, entertainment, business, education, the arts, health, and science. CSUN has catapulted students and alumni to create social change, to make new discoveries, and to better our world. And now it is your turn. This is your day. You worked through the challenges and persevered, not only wiser or stronger, but with a true distinction that separates you from all others. Someone with courage, grace, ability, creativity, and strength. A matador.
Greetings. My name is William Watkins, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, and we are here now at the Soraya Performance Center here at California State University Northridge, and it is my great pleasure to declare the opening of the graduation ceremonies for the classes of 1920 and 2021 from the Michael D. Eisner College of Education. Graduates, you've worked hard and persevered through some of the most difficult circumstances of our modern times. Today, we celebrate you and all of your accomplishments, the completion of your degree. Let's give our graduates a great, big, rousing applause. To all who are joining us today and are able to do so, I ask that you please rise and remain standing during the national anthem, which will be sung by two vocalists graduating from the Department of Music, Amelia Camacho and Israel Segura, and also the national anthem will be performed in American Sign Language by students graduating from the Department of Deaf Studies. They are Alicia Spyers, Jasmine Harris, and Xiali Wu. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, and please be seated. Before I introduce the members of the platform party gathered with me today, I would like to acknowledge the land on which Cal State Northridge resides. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes indigenous peoples as the original stewards of the land for which the acknowledgement is being given. Consistent with the CSUN values of respect for all people and alliances with community, We offer this in order to honor the indigenous history and affirm our intent to create strong partnerships and take meaningful actions in support of American Indian peoples in this region. As such, Cal State University Northridge recognizes and acknowledges the Sesavatam, the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of Sesavinga that is now occupied by our institution. And it honors the elders, past and present, and the Sesavatam descendants who are citizens of the Fernandino Titavian Band of Mission Indians. We recognize the Sesavatam are still here, and we are committed to lifting up their stories, their culture, and community. It is also now my great pleasure to introduce to you the Titavian tribal president, Rudy Ortega, his two sons, Tome and Nole, and vice president, Mark Villaseñor, who will come together and give to you now a congratulatory song and blessing.
Witiako, Aminat, Netawan, Rudy Ortega Jr., Nononi, Tomiyar. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rudy Ortega Jr. I'm the tribal president of the Fernandino Titavian Band of Mission Indians, and I'm here with my family, my two sons, Tomiyar Ortega and Noli Ortega, as well as my cousin, Mark Villaseñor, who's also the vice president of our tribe. We're the first people, descendants of the people of the San Fernando Valley, who are now Fernandino Titavian. We descend from these villages. And we just want to congratulate all the graduates who are graduating this year, and we want to sing some songs for you. This first song is Paco. It means come and enter as we welcome everybody for this graduation. The next song is a bear song that we're going to sing as we're in spring and celebrating everyone's graduation. Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, me ay que ma'a, me ay que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, me ay que ma'a, me ay que ma'a. What será, what será, what será, no hunga no será. What será, no, what será, what será, no hunga no será. What será, no, what será, what será, no hunga no será. What será, what será. What será, no hunga no será. Thank you.
Wasn't that awesome and inspiring? Thank you so much. Now celebrating with us today and seated on the platform are Faculty President Michael Neubauer, Associated Students President Rose Merida, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs Mary Beth Walker, Associate Dean Christine Hayashi, and finally, Dean of the Michael D. Eisner College of Education Sherry Tarver Bering, who I now have the great privilege to invite to the podium. Sherry?
Thank you, Vice President Watkins. And many thanks to Amelia, Israel, Alicia, Jasmine, and Shihali for that lovely performance of the national anthem, and thanks to the tribal president, Rudy Ortega, and Vice President Mark Villaseñor for the beautiful blessing. Good afternoon. As Dean of this college, it is my distinct honor to welcome you to the 2020 and 2021 CSUN Virtual Commencement Ceremony for the Michael D. Eisner College of Education. Graduates, family, friends, and esteemed colleagues, please allow me to share with you why the Michael D. Eisner College of Education is an incredible college. We are the biggest college of education in the entire California State University system. We are a college where social-emotional well-being is understood to be essential for the success of our students, faculty, staff, and the community that we serve. We are a college deeply committed to anti-racism, equity, access, and inclusion for all. A college where our students in education, administration, counseling and therapy, early childhood education, and deaf studies go on to change the world as social justice leaders. We are a college where students, alumni, faculty, and staff win award after award for their outstanding contributions in making the world a better place, inspiring the educational dreams of young people through cutting-edge educational programs, including and supporting the potential of every child equally, no matter what the learning obstacles they may face, healing the emotional wounds of those hurting through our amazing community counseling centers like Strength United, honoring our deaf culture as we celebrate our students and faculty in the largest deaf studies program in the United States, and envisioning how to make a difference in the lives of those we serve all the way from cradle to career. We are a college that believes everyone deserves equal access to education, to be informed, to pursue passions, to fulfill dreams. This is who we are. This is the Michael D. Eisner College of Education at California State University, Northridge. Well, now that I've told you everything there is to know about us, I could stop talking and just sit down. But wait, I'm here, you're there on the other side of that screen, so if you will indulge me, I would like to share just a few more thoughts, because that's what deans do. A commencement speech in 2021 is not complete unless we acknowledge the incredible challenges of the past year. It's been really hard, and there have been losses, lots of them. My heart goes out to all who have suffered loss and who have been isolated or who have been disappointed by missed opportunities due to social distancing, like not being here today in person for all of you. But I also want to challenge us to consider what we have gained. Tilt your head for a minute with me and look at what we've been through from another angle. Graduates, you are remarkable and resilient human beings. Who could have imagined that you would begin your education, and here you are having to go through a year like this one to complete your degree? But you did it. And now you know anything is possible, that you can overcome unknowable, unthinkable obstacles when you apply grit and perseverance to any task in life. Reflect for a moment on how the changes of COVID may have added value to your lives. Have you developed new ways to maintain balance, slow down, take better care of yourselves, reduce the pressures and stressful habits that you may have carried in our previous lives before the COVID? Within this year of unknowns, have you been more patient, more flexible? Have you learned to be more adaptive? Building perspective is not about overcoming the bad. It's about considering the big picture. We, for most of us, will never have anything be the same again. But in many respects, life may just get better if we envision new beginnings based on what we've learned during this pandemic. Building perspective during the last year has also led to a deeper awareness and understanding of racism and the oppression of members of our human family. Much work is ahead for us, but the first step is about paying attention to what is so wrong so that we can work together to make the world right. Gratitude has taken on new meaning in this last year. Things we may easily have taken for granted in the past, such as health or our support systems like family or house or food, have taken on new significance, especially when we realize how many do not have adequate resources or support right now. Most importantly, the social distancing and the fear of loss from COVID has reminded us that truly the one thing that matters most of all is who you love and who loves you. So graduates, congratulations for your incredible resiliency. And consider an expanded perspective which allows you to envision new beginnings as we move out of this time, a renewed commitment to social justice and well-being for yourselves and others, and living in gratitude for all those who supported you in achieving your educational goals and who love you. And oh yeah, congratulations for graduating from the best college of education in the whole world. Now, go out there, change the world for a better place in the way that each of you is uniquely meant to do, and then come back and tell us about it. We'll be right here, always in your corner, cheering you on. Thank you, and once again, congratulations. I would now like to invite Rose Merida, our Associate Student President, to the podium. Rose?
Good afternoon. My name is Rose Merida, and I had the pleasure of serving as CSUN's Associate Students President this past year. And what a year it was. We were tested, and we persevered, stronger today than ever. Amid all the knowledge gained and new skill sets learned, there is perhaps a bittersweet lingering. For many of us, we haven't set foot on campus for over a year. And while there may have been some silver linings with gas money saved and no commuting necessary, I think I speak for all of us when I say that we miss our campus. We miss its beauty, we miss its people, we miss the smell of the orange blossoms in the spring. We miss the vibrancy of the noontime concerts. We miss taking in the beautiful university library as we walked with our friends to class. We miss passing by the Matador statue and feeling the pride of being part of this great university. And yet, we have much to remember. Special memories that will always be with us. Our next video captures several CSUN moments over the past few years. Let's watch. That was amazing and a perfect way to remember our wonderful campus and time at CSUN. I would now like to welcome to the podium Provost Mary Beth Walker.
Thank you, Rose. Let me also offer my congratulations to you all. I'm Mary Beth Walker, Provost for CSUN and Professor of Economics. It's my honor to assist in highlighting 3 remarkable graduates from this college, but all outstanding for their display of academic scholarship. The first student we honor today is Angela Thomas. At an early age, Angela discovered that she learned differently, and her differing needs led to a long journey of becoming self-aware while advocating for herself inside the classroom. This has all paid off, as she will be graduating magna cum laude this spring with a 3.8 GPA and a double major in Africana Studies and Deaf Studies. Shortly after high school, Angela found herself overwhelmed by the idea of college. The paperwork alone was intimidating enough. And after an almost 10-year hiatus, she recalls one individual who took the time to work through the daunting application process with her. She credits that kindness and the incredibly positive impact it has had on her life, and has since continued to pay that kindness forward in helping her community, offering her assistance to individuals of all ages and backgrounds as they apply for college and develop their educational plans. Upon transferring to CSUN in 2019, Angela joined the newly chartered Black Signers Club and became inspired to fuse together the Black and Deaf communities, both of which she so passionately resonates with. Blending her lived experiences and her academic foundation in both majors, Angela has been focused on helping to ensure Black-Deaf accessibility within the CSUN community. Her long-term career goals are to serve as an activist and an advocate within these communities. Angela's ability to advocate for others is impressive to begin with, and yet all the more striking when take that into context with the personal circumstances and challenges that she has managed over this past year. While thrilled to learn she was pregnant early last year, the fall 2020 semester at first just seemed insurmountable between the stresses of the pandemic and the unexpected tragic loss of 3 family members within the span of just a few short months. With her baby due to arrive in October, Angela focused on preparing all that she could to ensure her academic success in the semester ahead, while also supporting her grieving family. She persevered and succeeded well beyond expectations, having completed a remarkable 21 units with no less than a 4.0 GPA that semester. Her beautiful baby also arrived right on time and is doing just fine. Associate Professor for Africana Studies, Dr. Cedric Hackett, says, Angela's drive towards success is simply unquestionable. Indeed, her resilience and her determination is an inspiration to us all. Congratulations, Angela. Now, to announce the next 2 outstanding students from this college, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Michael Neubauer, CSUN Professor and Faculty President.
Thank you, Provost Walker. The next student we honor this evening is Alicia Spyers. Every year, the California State University Northridge recognizes an outstanding graduating senior with the top award, the Wolfson Scholar. As the nominee from the College of Education at CSUN, Alicia is designated the Michael D. Eisner College of Education Dean's Scholar. Alicia earned a bachelor's degree in Deaf Studies with a minor in Gender and Women's Studies and is graduating with an outstanding GPA of 3.91. Alicia has been recognized by the faculty in her department as a champion of social justice and transformative change through her steadfast activism in educating our communities about the experiences of deaf LGBTQ+ community. In addition to her academic accomplishments, Alicia also holds very active volunteer roles in working with various offices on campus, including New Student Orientation, the National Center on Deafness, Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services, the Learning Resource Center, and Community Engagement. Off campus, Alicia worked with young deaf campers at a summer camp program and worked as a summer school teacher's assistant for a deaf and hard of hearing preschool, pre-kindergarten classroom. It is her goal to pursue a graduate degree in elementary education and, ultimately, to become a curriculum and instruction specialist to work towards transforming the inequities that exist in the educational system into opportunities for deaf and hard of hearing children. When Alicia is not busy pursuing her academic and professional goals, she enjoys hanging out with her family, friends, and her canine fur babies, Ashley and Toby, and watching shows on Netflix. She also enjoys sleeping during her free time, which, as you might expect, doesn't happen for her very often, as she is always busy in her work to change the world to be a better place for everyone. It is clear that Alicia Spyers is among the many stars at CSUN, and she will continue to shine brightly as one of our alums. Congratulations, Alicia. The final student to be recognized is Jasmine Harris. Jasmine Harris has been selected as the 2021 Michael D. Eisner College of Education undergraduate honored student. Jasmine came to CSUN as a transfer student into the Deaf Studies major with a concentration in Deaf Community Services. On top of her academic activities, Jasmine was elected as the president of the Deaf Studies Association. She also worked as a student assistant in the Deaf Studies American Sign Language Lab and is currently working with Dr. Lissa Stapleton on her Diversity and Equity Innovation Grant project, Black Deaf Life in California Digital Exhibit, with a goal of centralizing, expanding, and providing greater access to Black deaf educational materials. She found CSUN to be very supportive of her growth as a Black deaf woman, and it was through her experience working with college counselors at CSUN in the National Center on Deafness, Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services, and the Department of Deaf Studies, and through her educational psychology professor that she became inspired to pursue a path that will lead her to becoming a college counselor. In addition to her academic and professional interests, Jasmine has always been interested in musical theater, and she was cast in the CSUN musical theater production of Pippin. As Jasmine's mother passed away after a long struggle with cancer on the day of her performance in Hairspray at her community college, she found her continued involvement in musical theater is a way to honor her mother. It is our honor to congratulate Jasmine Harris on receiving this very special award in recognition of her excellence. Congratulations, Jasmine. It is now my pleasure to invite the Associate Dean of the College, Dr. Christine Hayashi, to the podium to introduce your student speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Neubauer, and good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Christine Hayashi, and I'm the Associate Dean for the Michael D. Eisner College of Education. I have the distinct honor this evening to introduce this year's student speaker. Our speaker is a graduate student. She's earning her master's degree in special education with an option in deaf hard of hearing. She will be graduating summa cum laude this semester with a stellar 3.93 GPA. I'd like to now introduce you to Arisara Aramdi.
Sawadee ka. Hello, fellow matadors. I would like to begin by inviting you on a quick getaway to an island in Thailand. Let's envision that we are here. The weather is warm with a gentle breeze. The ocean is a gorgeous shade of turquoise. You can decide to go to the shore and feel the water coming up to greet you, or swing on the wooden swing hanging from the tree. Now I invite you to breathe and reflect. Reflect on the obstacles that you overcame and the feelings of elation of making it this far in life, the dreams, the goals. Today is the day to celebrate you and your accomplishments. Thank you for taking that trip with me. It's time to return to our commencement ceremony. I would like to take a moment to share my experiences and takeaways from my journey. This is a picture of the humble beginnings of one of my first teachers from northern Thailand. My yai, or maternal grandmother, taught me how to water plants and cook rice. Watering is vital for growth. Rice is for sustenance to make it to the next day. Her survival lessons were rich with unconditional love and care. As an educator, returning to teaching in person during a pandemic was scary. My student taught me otherwise. On the day when parents were invited to visit the classroom, the student came in holding his mother's hand. When I showed them his desk, he quickly let go of her hand and walked with the confidence of a leader to plop himself in his chair, ready to be back to normal. He knew where he wanted to be, back at school, learning with his friends and community. The lessons from my yai and student were lessons of survival, love, and courage which continue to inspire me. I would like to send love and gratitude to my ancestors, family and friends, educators, mentors, students, and the deaf and Thai communities for believing in me and supporting me. Although I cannot speak for the experiences that everyone faced leading up to this moment, I would like to honor that we persevered despite the odds that were up against us. Thailand is another home and happy place for me. If you have another happy place, I hope you take a moment to find yourself there to celebrate. Even if that happy place is finally being able to see your friends and loved ones and holding them close to you. Wherever that may be, I wish you happiness and success in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations, class of 2021. We did it! ขอบคุณค่ะ. Thank you.
Thank you, Arisara. That was a terrific speech. And the Michael D. Eisner College of Education is so very proud of you. Nice work and congratulations. And now it is my great pleasure to re-invite Dean Tarver-Baring back to the podium to give her final words and to begin reading the names of the graduates who are joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hayashi. Now we're at the best part of the ceremony, the part you've all been waiting for, the part where we read the names of the graduates. Last week, our president, Dr. Erica Beck, conferred all degrees upon the graduates from the previous year, 2019-20, and the current year, 2020-21. Among those conferred were from the college and represented 6 disciplines. They are from our 6 departments, and they are Deaf Studies, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Educational Psychology and Counseling, Elementary Education, Secondary Education, and Special Education. Cheering all around. The names and graduation slides are presented in alphabetical order, and immediately following, we will hear from the Alumni Association and then President Beck, who will officially close this ceremony. Once again, congratulations, and may you have an absolutely wonderful day of celebration following this event.
Lena Abal, Distinction Candidate. Georgina Acevedo de Rodriguez, Consuelo Acuna. Sabrina Aguilar. Francine Alaretti. Aaron Alexander, Masters with Distinction. Brittany Almazan. Ashley Alvarado. Paulina Alvarez. Montserrat Anguiano. Shazia Anwar, Masters with Distinction. Sandra Aquino. Jeanette Arambula Davalos. Jennifer Lynn Argabright, Masters with Distinction. William Armstrong. Arasara Aramdi. Joanna Otten. Genesee Bacon, Honors Candidate. Sarani Bagdasarian, Masters with Distinction. Heaven Barnett. Lilia Nancy Barragan. Yolanda Barrett. Brenda Bite Kareem Mashiabad, Masters with Distinction. Sandra Bojorquez. Caitlin Broad, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Bryan. Jessica Ismenia Bucol. Denise Ann Burciaga, Distinction Candidate. Luis Arnolfo Cabrera, Distinction Candidate. Rina Masumoto Cabrera, Distinction Candidate. Marisol Cabrera Torres. Molly Canfield, Distinction Candidate. Luis Moises Carmona. Monica Gabrielle Carrillo, Distinction Candidate. Rebecca Casillas, Honors Candidate. Karina Castaneda, Masters with Distinction. Kylie Castellanos. Lizeth Castellan. Eric Castro Mejia. Marvin Sentiz. Adolescently Serta. Cowrie Chandler. Andrea Chavez. Cesar Chavez, Distinction Candidate. Jamie Choi, Distinction Candidate. Crystal Clark, Masters with Distinction. David Clifton. Sachiko Clamiro, Masters with Distinction. Stephanie Conley. Laura Contreras. Gabriel Cooper, Masters with Distinction. Elisa Coronado, Distinction Candidate. Ada Cozio. Erica Cotton. Laura Cousin, Distinction Candidate. Connie Covert. Lakin Crane. Migdalia Crespo. Alejandra Cruz. Giovanni Cruz, Masters with Distinction. Jocelyn Denise Cruz. Annette Curie Morton, Masters with Distinction. Marjorie Dahlgarn, Masters with Distinction. Nancy Davila. Brian S. Davis, Masters with Distinction. Madeline Detchens, Masters with Distinction. Jessica Dees, cum laude. Christina Dempsey, Masters with Distinction. Karen Diaz. Leslie Diaz. Yesenia Diaz. Fabiola Diaz Rodriguez. Carmen Marie Dones. Ruth Duke, summa cum laude. Janine Duma, distinction candidate. Rachel Dupriest. Amanda Michelle Duran. Ashley Brianna Duran Chavez, distinction candidate. Sydney Durand, honors candidate. Jasmine Adelin. Rich Edelin, Masters with Distinction. James Edwards, magna cum laude. Maricruz Escobar. Stephanie Espinoza, distinction candidate. Linda Esqueda. Adrian Francisco Estrada. Nathalie Estrada Reyes, cum laude. Jose Fausto. Beverly Felix. George Albert Felix, distinction candidate. Elena Floridia, distinction candidate. Giselle Folger, Masters with Distinction. James Fountain. Lauren Franco, Masters with Distinction. Alexa Friedman, distinction candidate. Madison French. Adra Friedman, distinction candidate. Lori Gaitan Perez. Irina Galanukin, distinction candidate. William Lauren Gallimore II. Michelle Garcia, distinction candidate. Dulcinea Garcia Gagne. Rosie Garrison, Masters with Distinction. Stella Gazarian, distinction candidate. Nina Gilbert. Jennifer Diana Glombowski. Stephanie Godinez Marin. David Goldberg, distinction candidate. Alejandra Gomez, honors candidate. Monique Gomez, distinction candidate. Valerie Raquel Gomez. Vanessa Gomez, distinction candidate. Adriana Gonzalez Bauman. Diana Gonzalez Vides. Felipe Angel Gonzalez, honors candidate. Fidel Gonzalez, Masters with Distinction. Tiara Green, honors candidate. Catherine Guevara. Elizabeth Gutierrez. Leslie Gutierrez Gutierrez. Sabrina Guzman.
Jessica Harp, honors candidate. Jasmine Harris. Misham Hashmi, distinction candidate. Wade Hawthorne, magna cum laude. Helen Heinrich. Brooke Marie Henderson, cum laude. Annalisa Hensley. Ashley Hernandez. Darla Noel Hitchens. Laura Nat, Masters with Distinction. Christine Hobbs. Timothy Felix Howell II. Melissa Ignacio, distinction candidate. Beatriz Jaramillo, Masters with Distinction. Jessica Marie Jimenez, Masters with Distinction. Samantha Jimenez. Ana Lydia Jimenez Colleen. Dinah Jackson, Distinction Candidate. Alfonso Johnson. Dizelle Johnson. Patrick Johnson. Hannah Jones. Jessica Camburian, Distinction Candidate. Jatima Kanchana Buyo. Elizabeth Karami. Desiree Kirst, magna cum laude. Elise Klein, honors candidate. Hagop Cordian. Abigail Kerr, distinction candidate.
Kristen Lagos. Lizette Lambarin. Joanna Lara, distinction candidate. Carla Murray Laszlo, honors candidate. Nigel Latham. Maya Lohith, masters with distinction. Ali Lope. Albert Lopez. Angela Lopez. Maritza Lopez, distinction candidate. Paulette Alicia Lopez, distinction candidate. Lizette Lozano. Raquel Luna, distinction candidate. Fatima Maz, masters with distinction. Ellen McKenzie. Nancy Madrid. Josh Mandel. Angelica Irene Martin. Jessica Martin. Dr. Vanessa L. Martinez. Rebecca Martinez Arias, distinction candidate. Yusuf Mazak. Maddie Matador. Alexandra Matustik, masters with distinction. Isaac Mayorga, distinction candidate. Amanda McCarthy, distinction candidate. Shelby McIntyre, masters with distinction. Emma McNulty, honors candidate. Brittany Mejia Juarez. Stephanie Men. Barbara Mendoza. Brittany Michael. Ashley Victoria Miles. Navard Manassian. Angela McCurchin, distinction candidate. Philippa Mogel. Daniel Mora. Lizeth Morera. Ashley Moreno, distinction candidate. Yvonne Moreno. Norma Moreno. Michelle Mori, distinction candidate. Charlene Sarah Zelda Moss. Laxman Nepal. Adrian Nguyen, honors candidate. Jordan Oleskowitz, summa cum laude. Carla Organista, distinction candidate. Lizeth Orozco, distinction candidate. Michael Ortega. Jake Ortiz, distinction candidate. Catherine Ortiz.
Alma Patricia Pacheco, Masters with Distinction. Joel Padilla, Jr. Jose Miguel Paez. Hannah Pang, Masters with Distinction. Allison Parker, Masters with Distinction. Anthony Parker. Goretti Para. Michaela Partain. Alba Paz. Carolina Perez, Distinction Candidate. Jamie Langen. Clara Pino, Distinction Candidate. Deanna Placencia. Benjamin Plotkin, Masters with Distinction. Jennifer Price, Distinction Candidate. Brenda Pulido, Distinction Candidate. Yesenia Quiros. Rocio Ivan Rabara, Distinction Candidate. Amy Ramirez. Georgina Ramirez. Maria Ramirez, Honors Candidate. Melva Ramirez Gonzalez, Masters with Distinction. Evelyn Michelle Ramirez Isaac. Liliana Ramirez Castro. Anna Reeves, Distinction Candidate. Yadira Reina, Summa Cum Laude. Samantha Raccoon. Cedric Rivera, Distinction Candidate. Amanda Reyes. Doris Silvana Reyes, Masters with Distinction. Fernando Guevara Reyes, Masters with Distinction. Cheryl Reyes, Masters with Distinction. Isabella Rizzo, Honors Candidate. Ariel Roberts, Cum Laude. Sean Roberts. Maritza Robles, Masters with Distinction. Kelly Radono. Julio Rodriguez, Masters with Distinction. Lucia Rodriguez. Caroline Rowland, Distinction Candidate. Arturo Romero. Denise Romero, Distinction Candidate. Diane Romero. Joe Romero, Distinction Candidate. Stephanie Romero, Masters with Distinction. John Rosania, Distinction Candidate. Monique Roses. Maribel Rubio. Yvonne Rubio, Masters with Distinction. Rachel Rudd, Distinction Candidate. Sarah Salazar, Distinction Candidate. Ronica Samano. Lizeth Sandoval. Alma Jocelyn Silva, Distinction Candidate. Lydia Silva, Magna Cum Laude. Connor Sines, Distinction Candidate. Alexis Smith, Distinction Candidate. Ariana Smith, Distinction Candidate. Shayna Smith Morse, Masters with Distinction. Frankie Sotelo. Rebecca Spector, Masters with Distinction. Alicia Spyers, Honors Candidate. Megan Stackhouse, Honors Candidate. Jonathan Stoll, Distinction Candidate. Lizette Marie Strom, Masters with Distinction. Chelsea Swafford, Distinction Candidate. Krista Sweet, Cum Laude.
Marissa Terranova, Distinction Candidate. Angel Thomas, Honors Candidate. Veronica Torres. Grace Nazareth Toy. Kayla Lee Trevino. Yelena Sirkun. Molly Van de Veer, Honors Candidate. Celia Vargas, Masters with Distinction. Sandy Michelle Vargas. Melissa Vega. Chelsea Velado Reyes. Myra Ventura Marroquin. Naide Maribel Villa. Yuritsi Villarreal, Distinction Candidate. Karina Wijajawiguna Ward, Distinction Candidate. Karen Waterman, Distinction Candidate. Nicole Watson, Honors Candidate. Tyra Darnell White. Emma Williams, Honors Candidate. Chanel Williams Hungerford, Distinction Candidate. Shannon Wilson. Ellen Woodward. Xiali Wu, Honors Candidate. Noreen Yesin, Distinction Candidate. Maria Iniguez, Distinction Candidate. Natalie Zarilla Sanchez.
Hello, I'm Robert Taylor, Chair of the CSUN Foundation Board and a proud graduate of CSUN's engineering program. I'm co-founder and CEO of the investment firm Centinela Capital Partners, as well as a partner in the private equity firm 35711. On behalf of the CSUN Alumni Association and more than 375,000 Matadors who graduated before you, it is my honor to formally welcome you as alumni of our great university. Today's commencement is especially well-deserved. Earning a college degree is an important and special accomplishment in ordinary times. These are not ordinary times. You've completed your CSUN journey through historic challenges. You should be proud of your accomplishments. We are, and we are proud of you. But you're just getting started. Commencement literally means and is the beginning. Now, you begin in a world that is, in many ways, very different than it was when I stood in your shoes almost 40 years ago. But it remains the same in the most important way. A world full of possibilities, a future waiting to be created. Embrace that future with confidence, confidence born of your abilities and accomplishments that we celebrate today, and born of these four observations. 1, there is no single path or definition of success. There are at least as many as there are matadors. 2, in the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there's no passion to be found in settling for a life that is less than the one you're capable of living. 3, the world needs, no, it hungers for the gifts that you have to share. And last, but certainly not least, know that you'll find many matadors out there, like me, ready and willing to help you achieve your dreams. In turn, we invite you to stay connected to the university and to the Alumni Association. We hope that someday you'll join us in supporting CSUN students who dream as you did and who no doubt will be inspired by the future you shape commencing today. Congratulations and welcome to your CSUN alumni family.
Matadors, congratulations again on your degree. You are now part of a tremendous, influential network of more than 377,000 alumni who are making a difference in their communities, in Southern California, the country, and around the globe. All of us at California State University Northridge, along with the parents, families, friends, and loved ones who have joined us to cheer your achievements, are so very proud of you and all that you have accomplished. This is truly a time to celebrate. We look forward to watching you all continue to flourish as you embark on the next steps of your life's journey. While all of us at CSUN, including the faculty and staff who supported you during this important phase of your life, would have preferred to gather with you in person to celebrate it, it remains a joyous occasion as we mark this pivotal moment of your life as a supportive and united university community. Graduates, we thank you for the richness that you have brought to our academic community. Since arriving at CSUN, one thing I have learned is that Matadors are creative, hardworking, and determined in achieving their goals, and this year was no exception. Despite the pandemic, you demonstrated ingenuity and incredible resilience, and you have thrived, succeeded, and supported one another. Your Matador pride, your energy, and your continued engagement and connection with your peers, classes, and campus activities kept CSUN vibrant and a place where everyone's aspirations and potential are realized every day. We at CSUN have been so proud to help you in this journey and look forward to hearing about your amazing successes in the years ahead. Please always remain in touch with your alma mater. Remember, once a Matador, always a Matador. And the celebrations don't end here. Later this week, the campus community is excited to congratulate you in person at a commencement, socially distanced opportunity to celebrate your tremendous accomplishments. We look forward to welcoming you and seeing you and your families and loved ones in person on campus for this drive-through celebration. And next May, we welcome you and your graduating class to a very special graduation ceremony so that you and your guests can experience a traditional on-campus commencement. Look out for information early next year. Now, Matadors, I ask that everyone rise for our university alma mater. Hail to the Matadors. Leading us today is the CSUN's talented a cappella student group, Acasola. The words of the alma mater will be at the bottom of the screen, so sing along with us. We will know if you didn't sing along with us. Again, congratulations, you've done it. We are all so very proud of you. Si se pudo!
Hail to all the matadors and to our school so dear. As we move along the road of life, let us keep from doubt or fear.